Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Factorio for Beginners. I'll be doing multiple of these episodes to cover various topics about this game, since this game can get pretty complex pretty quickly, and cover it all at once would take up far too long for anyone to sit down and watch the whole video at once. Okay, so just in case you don't know what Factorio is, this is a game where you can mine materials and craft materials, and you very quickly find out that crafting materials on your own is a little bit too time intensive. So you can build structures, factories, belts, mining machines that can help automate these things for you. And so you take these very simple ideas and you put them together into what becomes a pretty complex factory of your own. The only other thing to talk about is that you are on an alien planet because you've crashed there, and you need to build a factory, or essentially the end game is you need to build a rocket that can shoot out into space to send a distress signal or something to your home planet. And there are natives on the planet, and they don't really like your intrusive presence, because your factories build pollution and they get upset about it. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Just so you know, I am using a mod called Afraid of the Dark, which just allows the game to be a little bit more visible for stream purposes. Other than that, I'm playing completely vanilla here. If I go to play, I'm going to click New Game, and I'm going to use the default settings. So there are enemies, and everything is as vanilla as it could possibly be. Now I do have a map exchange string that I'm going to use, just because I know what it looks like and I know that it'll be decent enough for this stream. So if we want, we can generate a preview, but I'm just going to generate the game. Okay, and here we are. This is the Factorio free play. Your task is to launch a rocket into space. Do this by constructing a rocket silo and launching a rocket with a satellite. You will need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up from automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. Okay, so there we have it. So I'm going to click Tab to close this out. And here we are. We're this little dude here. It's about as close as we can zoom in. And we're on this land. If we open up our map, we can see a little bit. We can see various resources that are around us. So right here we have some coal, iron, copper. We're standing near water, and there's a tiny little patch of stone down here, and there's some more over here. So we currently don't know anything about where any of the natives are, but very soon we will find out. Okay, so let's get out of here. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to mine some materials. If I come over to like this stone, for example, we can see on the right hand screen it's a big sandy rock. It's going to take us 5 seconds to mine it, and there's 22 stone inside. So if I hold right click, I'm just smacking away with my bare hands at this rock, and it takes forever. So we should craft our first item here. If we go, we have 8 iron plate in our inventory. If we go into the production products, we can create an iron axe. And we can see that it costs 3 iron plates and 2 iron sticks. And iron sticks are made of iron plates. So if I click this, down on the bottom left, you'll see it crafted it, and now it's in our inventory. And we can pick at the rocks. So now we have some stone in our inventory. Okay, so that's cool. But in order to make anything, like we can only make 1 more of these picks, we're going to need some iron. And if we look at these other things, pretty much everything else we have right now uses iron. So we're going to need to grab some of this, right? And we could just stand here and mine this, but we have in our inventory already, we have a burner mining drill. So if I plop this down right here, I'm rotating this with R. Basically the arrow shows where it's going to output. So if I put this here, there is an input, which is fuel, and this is showing what it will mine. So we need some fuel to put into this thing, so why don't we grab one of these pieces of coal, and I'll put that in there, and we can see it's crafting iron. Right, and it's just going to spit it out right there. Now, it stopped because it can only put so much into this one space on the ground. So, let me see, do we have any trees around here? Yeah, there's some trees over here. So we're going to need some wood to build ourselves like a chest. Okay, so let's build ourselves a little wooden chest here. And it should be noted that wood can also be used as fuel, but it's not as efficient as coal. So I'm going to go ahead and put this little box there, and we can see that this thing is picking up the iron ore off the ground for us and putting them into this box, which is really cool. Now, it's going to run out of coal, obviously, so we're going to need more of that. See, so there, it ran out of coal, so we can put one more in. Now, in order to build anything, like if we wanted to build another one of these miners, we can see we need plates and gear wheels, and gear wheels also need plates. But all we're getting in this box is iron ore. So what we need to do is we need to take this iron ore and smelt it down into iron plates. So I'm going to pick up this box, and we were actually given a stone furnace here at the beginning of the game. So if I put this furnace there, this mining drill can feed it directly into the stone furnace. So we can put that in there, and we notice that this also needs fuel. So both of these things need fuel. So let me grab some of this coal. And that way we can feed both the miner and the smelter. Okay, so that should be enough for now. So if I hold control and right click, if I hold control and left click, it'll put all of the coal into the device. If I hold control and click right click, it'll put half of it. So I split the coal up into both these things. So this thing is going to continue mining until that coal runs out, and this thing is actually already smelting our iron ore into iron plates, which is really cool, because we're going to need a lot of that. So we have enough to make another burner mining drill. And we should note that this thing takes 3 iron plates, 3 iron gear wheels, and a stone furnace, which needs stone. So if we click this, it'll show in the bottom left all the things that it needs to produce, and it'll produce them in line, which is really cool. So, I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of this. What do I have? 8, I need one more. Okay, so let's build another one of these burner mining drills. Now, I don't want to stand here and mine coal all day, right? So I'm going to take a mining drill and put it on the coal here. And that's well and good. I mean, I can take, can put a piece of wood in there, and that'll create coal, and we can put it into a box just like we did before. Or we can take another one of these mining drills and have this one feed its coal into here, which then uses that coal to pick up more coal, which feeds it back into here. It creates a nice little loop. And this way, these things will run indefinitely as long as there's coal underneath them. And we can just run by and pick up coal whenever we want. Cool. So, we need to make some more of these. We're going to need a few more for iron, but we're also going to want to collect copper in a little bit, because we're going to need it for certain things. So let's just work on getting enough iron to get some more of these things. So we have 2. And I might as well make 2 of those real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and put another one down here. And we're gonna need to grab our coal. So this is the very primitive stage of this game. This seems like a lot of manual work. I mean, it's a lot faster than us standing here and smacking at iron and smacking at coal, but this is relatively slow, just, you know, starting off. However, if we open our map, we can turn on our pollution, and you can see this red outline. This is our pollution, which is being caused by the noise of this and also probably the steam or the smoke, whatever's coming out of these things, right? Because these things are burning coal. And with the more things that we build, the wider this pollution will spread. And once the pollution reaches the natives on the land, that's when they're going to get upset and start attacking us. So let's build a couple more of these things. And it looks like we're going to need some more stone. So maybe now is a good time to grab some of that. Where's the closest stone patch? We're actually a little bit far away from it. Just kind of a burn. Let's grab the iron and the stone, or the coal. Oh, there's actually some rocks here I can mine real quick. We'll go hit a stone patch in a little bit, but I want to get the rest of these things set up here. Cool. Alright. Let's see. You're gonna need a couple more of those. And probably another one. And then... So we're gonna need furnaces for most of these things, right? So if I left click on the stone furnace, it'll make 1. If I right click, it'll make 5. And then I think if I shift left click, it'll make all of them. So I'm gonna make 5 of them. Cool. And we'll go ahead and plop couple more of these down, and just like how we have this loop here, I'm actually going to put a couple more down here as well, and all I gotta do is rotate this one, and now it's a 4x4 loop here, which will get us more coal in a shorter amount of time. Okay, so I'm going to feed these coal that I have. And let's go ahead and look at getting some copper. Yeah, I'm really glad I put that mod on. Without it, this would be like complete darkness, except for where the flashlight's pointing. Okay. So let's just put, I don't think we need 2. Let's just put 1 down for now. And okay, cool. That's creating us some copper, which is really great. Yeah, so that's the basics of this game, right? This is like the very core concepts, which involves mining things and crafting things with the products that you've mined. However, we're far from covering much at all of this game. But now you've seen some mining and some crafting and some primitive smelting. So what can we do from here? We're going to need to adapt, right? We can't just keep creating these because we're going to have to keep coming back over to our little coal patch and feeding all of our machines with the coal, and then coming over here and grabbing all our plates, which not only is a time waster, but we have a finite amount of inventory space. So we're going to need to figure out a way to speed things up a little bit. So if we look through our inventory in our logistics, we can see There are the burner mining drills and the stone furnaces. And if we look to the right of the burner mining drills, there's these electric mining drills, which is really cool. And we're going to need some copper. Down at the bottom here, you can see total raw. So it'll take 8.2 seconds for us to make it. It costs 23 total iron and 4.5 copper. And the copper is used for those electric circuits, which take 1 iron plate and 3 copper cables, and the copper cables take 1 copper plate. So, so we got a little bit of copper. That's cool. And I probably should have come back to feed these things with coal, but I forgot. So let's say we want to make one of these electric mining drills. You can see it takes a while, especially since it has to craft all of those intermediate products first. Cool, we have one, right? So what, we just put it down on the iron, or... Okay, no, it doesn't work like that. So we can see it needs electricity in order to work, but we don't have any electricity. Oops. We don't have any electricity yet, so we're going to need to generate some. So how do we go about doing that? Let's see. Let's look through here. We have a offshore pump, which pumps fluid from a body of water. And we have these boilers, which can burn fuel to heat fluids. And then we have these steam engines, which consume steam to create electric energy. So we're going to need to create a series of, we're going to need to pump water out of this lake here, and we're going to have to slam them through these boilers, which will put the hot, it'll heat up the fluid and create steam, and these steam engines will take the steam and will convert it into electric energy, which is really cool. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're going to need quite a bit of materials here. And you know, we're gonna need some more stone pretty soon. So why don't we just go over there real quick, and we'll slap down a little stone miner on our... Oh, it's actually not as far as I thought it was. It's just right here. Is this it? No. Almost. Right there. Okay, let's just put one of these things down so that we at least have some stone. Now, I don't need to smelt the stone, so I'm just going to put it into a box. And that'll do for now. Okay, cool. Oh, wait a second. Some of these big rocks have a little bit of coal in them too, which is kind of neat. Let's see, I'm trying to open up my Twitch chat, but I can't seem to figure out how to do that for some reason. Very weird. I don't know. Let me see if I reload the stream, maybe. Oops. Let's see, what if I just maximize this? Then will I see it? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I just want to pop this chat out. Sorry. Just want to make sure that I can actually read the chat if somebody's talking to me. Okay, where'd that go? Okay. Alright, great. So, let's head back over here, grab some more coal, get a little bit more materials, and we'll go ahead and get started on upgrading our stuff. Oops. I accidentally took all the coal out of these, which is not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're going to need to create an offshore pump, like I said, and we're going to need to create at least, you know, let's just create a lot of iron, but I don't really want to use it all in this. Let's create one boiler for now and a steam engine, and you know, I'll make 2 boilers and 4 steam engines. Okay, and then I'm going to make some of those, and I'll explain what those are in a little bit. You know, I might as well just explain it now. These are burner inserters. They're basically like, think about like a factory that you have these big arms picking up materials and placing them into things. That's what this is. And these actually run off of fuel, not electricity. Whereas these ones use electricity. These ones, we can just feed coal into them, which is great for now. And just grab a little bit more of this. We'll go get as much copper as we have over there. And actually, I'm going to pop another one down. Let's put another one of these there. And cool. So we have a little bit more copper being made. That'll help us out. Alright, and then we might also need to make a pipe. Let's just do that real quick. Let's see, we got coal here, and we got iron, and copper. So maybe I'll go I really don't want to drag it too far. I'll just put it right here for now. If it sucks, I'll move it later. Okay, so I'm going to put an offshore pump here. And that's going to pump water from here. And I'm just going to use this underground pipe here just to clear this, give me a little bit of clearing for running around in here. Okay, if I put, is there going to be enough room? If you shift click on something, you can create a blueprint of it, which is really nice if you're trying to like see if you have enough room to do something. Like here I'm trying to figure out I don't have enough room right there. And maybe I'll move this up. I still don't know if that's going to be enough. If it's not, I'll figure it out. Okay, cool, it was enough. Alright, great. So I'm going to put those down there. And we can see that water is being pumped in, which is really cool. But these things need fuel, so we're going to need to feed them some fuel. And you know what? We're going to need to create some electric poles because that is how we'll be able to carry the power from here to wherever we need it. And we're going to need some more wood. So I'm going to have to go chop down some trees real quick. Just grab all of this. And I'll pick this thing up for now. Are there any trees over here? No. You can see our pollution is spreading a lot faster now that we have more of these things being made, which is kind of scary. Okay. Oh, there are some trees. Cool. Alright, so I'll just grab some of these real quick. Now, what we're doing by creating this electricity is we're allowing ourselves to create these electric miners, which, first of all, they mine a lot faster, right? So these things mine at 0.35, and they mine an area of a 2x2 grid, and their mining power is 2.5. These things have a mining power of 3. They mine at 0.5, which is faster in this one, and they mine at a 5x5 area. So they mine a lot faster, and they gather more ore quickly. And that will allow us to feed, and they also don't require coal, right? So they'll automatically run, we don't have to feed them, and the only things that will need to be fed are these stone furnaces. Okay, now let's just real quick, I'm gonna go set up a couple of these power poles just to demonstrate that it's working. Here, I'll put some poles. I'll just put like a pole here, and that'll be, if I just hold left click, it'll automatically place it at the max distance these poles can work, which is great. Let's just say I want to put it here. Now it currently doesn't have power because there's still no power yet. But if I come down to this boiler and I feed it some coal, it'll feed coal into these, and we can see that we have electricity, and this thing has started mining, which we can't see because it can only mine a certain amount into that little slot there. Let me just cancel these real quick. Okay. Now if I put this here and grab some coal and put one of those in there, we can see this thing is mining at a much faster pace than the burner mining drills, and this thing is happy to be smelting away. So I think that's going to do it for this first episode. Just to recap on what we covered, we went through some of the primitive starting points of this game, how to mine things with our hands, how to mine things with a pick, how to use these burner miners to mine things, and we also set up electricity, which is very exciting, which it's actually now dead because this thing doesn't have coal, but we'll cover on how to fix that in the next episode. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and if you're on Twitch, stick around.